Text input and delegation. In this chapter, you are going to add an instance of UI text field to word trotter. The text field will allow the user type a temperature. Text editing. Open main storyboard. Select the top label and press the Delete key to remove this subview. Open the Object Library and drag a text field to the top of the canvas where the label you deleted were previously placed. Now set up the constraints for this text field. Add constraints for horizontally in container. Add constraints with a top value of 8. And then lay out the other views. Horizontally in container. Add 5 constraints with a top value of 8. Finally, custom some of the text field properties. Open the Attributes Inspector for the text field and make some changes. Set the text color to System Orange. Set the font size to System 70. Set the alignment to centered. Set the placeholder text to be value. Set the border style to be none, which is the first element of the segmented control with the dotted lines. If the views on the canvas now are misplaced, select the gray background view and then click Update Frames icon. For now, there's no view is misplaced, so this icon is disabled. Build and run the application. Type on the text field and enter some text. Let's input 3, 4, 2 in the text field. If you do not see keyboard, click the Simulator Hardware menu and select I/O, Keyboard, and Toggle Software Keyboard. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Command key to review it. Keyboard attributes. The keyboard appearance is determined by a set of UI text fields properties called the UI text input traits. For this application, you want to use the decimal pad. Find the attribute named keyboard type and choose decimal pad. OK, in the same section, change both correction and spell checking to no. Build and run the application. Typing on the text field will now reveal the decimal pad, responding to text field changes. The next step of the project will be to update the Celsius label when the text is typed into the text field. Having descriptive type names allows you to more easily maintain your projects as they grow larger. In the Project Navigator, find the View Controller Swift and delete it. Then create a new file by selecting File, New, and File. Select the Swift file, tap Next. Save as Conversion View Controller. Make sure that the word trotter target is checked. Tap Create. In Conversion View Controller.swift, import UIKit and define a new view controller named Conversion View Controller. Now you need to associate the interface you created in main.storyboard with this new view controller. Open main.storyboard and select the view controller, either in the document outline or by clicking the yellow circle above the interface. Open the Identity Inspector, which is a subtype in the Utilities view. Change the class to Conversion View Controller. UI text field is subclass of UI control. It can send an event when the text changes. Open Conversion View Controller.swift and define this outline and action. Open main.storyboard to make these connections. The outlet will be connected just as you did in Chapter 1. Just control drag from the view controller in the document outline to the label. Release the mouse and select the Celsius label from the pop-up menu. Open the Conversion View Controller.swift. You can see that the outline is connected. Now, let's make a connection for the Fahrenheit field editing changed AB action. Select the text field on the canvas and open its Connections Inspector from the Utility pane. Tap Connections Inspector icon. In the Connections Inspector, locate the Editing Changed event in the Send Event section. Click and drag from the circle to the right of Editing Changed to the Conversion View Controller, and click the Fahrenheit field Editing Changed action in the pop-up menu. Build and run the application. For now, the label will be updated with whatever text the user types into the text field. Type the text field and type some numbers. The Celsius label will mimic the text that is typed in. If the text field's text is empty, then the Celsius label will be given the string 3 question marks. Dismissing the keyboard. Currently, there is no way to dismiss the keyboard. Let's add that functionality. One common way to doing this is by detecting when the user taps on the background view to dismiss the keyboard. When the text field is typed, the method become first responder is called on it. This is a method that, among other things, causes the keyboard to appear. To dismiss the keyboard, you call the method resign first responder on the text field. This method will call resign first responder on the text field outline. Let's take care of the code first. You will use a gesture recognizer to accomplish this. In main.storyboard, find the Type Gesture Recognizer in the Object Library. Drag Type Gesture Recognizer onto the background view for the Conversion View Controller. Control drag from the Gesture Recognizer to the Conversion View Controller and connect it to the Dismiss Keyboard method. In Conversion View Controller.swift, as you see, the AB action Dismiss Keyboard method is connected. Add a text field outline and make connection for it. Build and run the application. Select the text field to reveal the keyboard. When you tap on the background view, the keyboard disappears. Repeat more tests. Implementing the temperature conversion. In conversion view controller.swift, add a property for the Fahrenheit value. This will be an optional measurement for temperature. The reason this property is optional is because the user might not have typed in a number, similar to the empty string issue you fixed earlier. The var celsius value is a computed property. This value will be computed based on the Fahrenheit value. Anytime the Fahrenheit value changes, the Celsius label needs to be updated. Add a method to conversion view controller that updates the Celsius label, and then override view didLoad to set the initial value, similar to what you did in Chapter 1. You want this method to be called whenever the Fahrenheit value changes. To do this, you will use a property observer, which is a chunk of code that gets called whenever a property's value changes. A property observer is declared using curly braces immediately after the property declaration. In Fahrenheit field editing changed, delete your earlier non-converting implementation and instead update the Fahrenheit value. First, you check whether the text field has some text. If so, you check to see whether the text can be represented by a double. If both of these checks pass, then the Fahrenheit value is set to a measurement, initialized with that double value. If either of those checks fail, then the Fahrenheit value is set to nil. Build and run the application again. Enter multiple decimal points to test it. Validation is an object-oriented approach to callbacks. For word trotter, you want to deny that change if the user attempts to enter a second decimal separator. The delegate for the text field will be the instance of conversion view controller, conforming a protocol. For every delegate row, there is a corresponding protocol that declares the methods that an object can call on its delegate. You cannot create instances of a protocol. It is simply a list of methods and properties. Instead, implementation is left to each type that conforms to the protocol. In conversion view controller.swift, declare that conversion view controller conforms to the UI text field delegate protocol. Using a delegate, open main.storyboard and control drag from the text field to the conversion view controller. Choose delegate from the popover to connect the delegate property of the text field to the conversion view controller. In conversion view controller.swift, implement text field to print the text field's current text as well as the replacement string. Attempt to enter multiple decimal separators. The application will reject the second decimal separator that you enter. Bronze challenge. Disallow alphabetic characters. Currently, the user can enter alphabetic characters either by using a Bluetooth keyboard or by pasting copied text into the text field. Fix this issue.